Countdown is 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Launch Sequence Podcast, your favorite space game podcast where we generally go over Star Citizen, but sometimes we touch on other things. Today it's Star Citizen though, and I've got a fantastic YouTuber over here with me who actually has made a lot of amazing ship videos for Elite Dangerous, but then brought that workmanship over to our realm, and I'm loving it. How you doing, the pilot? Welcome to the show.
You are ridiculously too kind, sir. I'm happy to be on the Tomato Talk, on the podcast and everything like that. I like your work too,
If you knew how many requests I got to have you on here, buddy, people love your work. It's great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Of course. And Star Citizen makes good ships, so honestly, like the best videos are generally the ship reviews. So I love to see more of them in quality. You've probably had well, actually, let you give an introduction here, because there are a lot of people who have wanted to have you on, and like I said, you came from Elite Dangerous, but really you've had kind of a fun path through the Star Citizen realm. Why don't you start us off with kind of how you started to get into Star Citizen?
Well, actually, I'm not particularly proud of it, but I used to do these podcasts with Yamix. Actually, I still do. We'll do Space Waste news every once in a while, and Star Citizens was on my periphery for a couple of years. I actually got an account. I don't remember when, but of course I couldn't run it, so it's fine.
That's how we all start.
Yeah, exactly. You can't run it anyway, but it's fine. It's someone gave you $60 or you spent $60 or $45. It's fine, whatever. It's gone to the wind. It might come out with something later. Great. But I heard some nasty things from like the SC refunds people, and then I would talk with Yamex, and he's like, oh, it's a scam, and the more I looked into it, and I was like, wow, that is kind of nasty and predatory, and wow, they're really doing this. Wow, it really doesn't run. Wow, it's really been 10 years. Okay, wow. It's like, oh wow, this is terrible. And then I actually started looking into it and playing it, and I actually I can kind of run it now, but not really.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's playable if I squint. No, I'm kidding. I happen to have an older rig, so I'm getting to the point now where there's so much that I can't really record and play at the same time. I can play perfectly fine.
Okay. Yeah,
but I've been having but I've picked up a cinematographer or two, and they've been recording for me lately, which is actually really nice.
That's really nice.
Heliodor Ren. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Heliodor in chat today.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anyway, so I started playing it, and I started actually kind of liking it. And then the tone in Spaceways kind of, shifted a little bit. He goes, freaking scam citizen. I go, actually, it's kind of cool. I actually really enjoy it. He's, he give me the Yamix silence. Yeah, exactly.
I've actually had Yamix on the show. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I know.
It's good.
I did.
Good
I did.
Yeah.
He's a character. He's actually a good friend of mine. He's a character.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He is one of the most upfront people I have ever met that does like videos on the internet. So it's hard to do that. It is hard to stick with that.
And I like the way he's super professional too, like it's the character versus, okay, we're going to do this. What time do you want me here? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay.
His self-proclaimed drive-by style of shooting or of videos that he does is how he describes them to me. All right. So you kind of started to get into it a little bit. When did you decide to make the jump to actually making videos about it?
When I ran out of ships for Elite. I mean, that's the actual answer. I could wax poetical about, some kind of inherent drive or the seeing the quality and, no, I ran out of ships for Elite and I was really, really bored with Elite. So I said, okay, I'm done. I can't anymore. So
Were there any
I
other
actually, what? Sorry.
were there any other games that you considered doing ship reviews for? Why'd you decide to go with Star Citizen?
Yes. I actually I wanted to shift just to general space ships in any game, and I thought opening up my the channel to a more expansive palette and really going after spaceships in any game, that'll keep me busy, and that's fun and everything like that.
Yeah.
And they all tanked. Every single one tanked.
Huh.
Just all of them.
You have any
You can
examples?
I do actually. I can even give you links. There's a secondary channel. I have a secondary channel where I offloaded all of those videos.
Little secret channel.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I was just thinking, like, I would love to see a video like yours about, say, the spaceship from the Jedi Fallen Order game. There's people like those kinds of spaceships too. It'd be cool to see that for like a popular game.
Actually, there's one for Squadrons on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one do pretty well.
Yeah, it's all right. So initially, a few of these actually went up on the main channel, and they kind of bombed and I realized that I was screwing with my SEO too much, and it wasn't going to work unless I like revamped the channel. So I removed the videos, offloaded them here to a second channel, Pathfinder. Said, okay, well, I guess I'm done making videos, until I come up with something or until Elite updates. And I went, you know what? I want to play Star Citizen. I like playing Star Citizen. I enjoy Star Citizen. It's fun. And I started filming, and one thing led to another, and I made a Titan video.
It was great. It was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Cutlass one was, yeah. I like the opening.
Thank you.
Okay, so it was pretty natural getting into Star Citizen for you. That's that is definitely a different path from most people I've talked to about that. But you also got hired by the company, which that's
right.
Definitely different from most people. How did that happen?
I'm debating whether to give you the fantastical answer or the real answer. Because the fantastical answer is awesome, but it doesn't really track.
I love fantastical.
They were such big fans of my work. They just had to. I was giving away too much. I knew too much about the ships before they released enough details, and I was ruining the game.
You're like, this guy is going to sink us.
Exactly. No, the truth of the matter is that I was not in a great financial place, and I was not doing well, and YouTube and Patreon kind of paid the bills, but not really. And a fan reached out, and he says, "Hey man, if you need a job, CIG is hiring, right? And you'll get it if you apply." Oh, okay. How do you know? And he goes, "I work there." I went, oh, yeah, all right, that makes sense. So I did. It took about 3 months and a couple of interviews, and I got the job. And they only had one caveat, was that they said, "Congratulations, you're hired. Your first day is the first day you arrive in Austin."
That's the first time you found out it was in Austin?
No, I knew it was in Austin, and that I would like eventually have to go there when COVID was over, but
it was just very sudden.
Yeah, and turns out no, I had to go to Austin even though they were all working remote anyway. So, okay, well, I mean, not ideal, but still working for SIG is that is a big deal. And I get to make the game that I've been making videos about, and I get to put my name on this universe. That's a big deal for me. So I packed everything up into my everything I own into a Kia Soul. And just kind of squished the missus into the side seat. We played Tetris. Her spine's not the same, but she made it. She's
gotta
fine.
do what you gotta do, man.
You got to do what you got to do. Um, we drove all the way to Austin. I had arranged for an apartment, apparently at like one of the nicest places in Austin. I didn't even know it was like the nicest place. They're like, later when I talked to people about it, they're like, the rent there is outrageous. I'm like,
Yeah, but you're coming from California.
Exactly. I was coming from Los Angeles. I'm like, this is half the rent I was paying there. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
Terrible. Yes.
it was a lovely place. I will admit. I am not a fan of Texas at all for a litany of reasons, but that apartment was downright lovely.
You had a good little
I had a
pocket for yourself.
garage.
Oh, that's
I had a
nice.
garage in my apartment. Oh, come on now. It's nice.
It is very cool. Yeah, that's good. So you drove all the way out there, relocated, and I think probably the most important thing that I would possibly think I could ask you from all of your time being there and everything you might have experienced, and I guess your ability to answer questions is, what is the release date for Star Citizen?
When your hopes align and the stars spell out the name of the pilot in the sky, then Star Citizen will arrive.
Wisdom. I heard that they have it up there on the wall in all the offices. They just don't like to tell anybody or show anyone. Just a moving date on the wall.
I'll tell you what. I don't want to completely smash your hope in this. What is a fantastical and lovely idea, but no, it's not there. No.
Imagine. I can't even imagine what would be on the wall if that were the case. Like, just well. Anyways, what did you do while you were in CIG?
A couple different departments, but most people probably want to talk about live QA.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
I thought, I'd get to go and make videos and make those fantastic freaking commercials and learn how to do that and all that nonsense. No.
Man, I definitely thought you were involved in that. Because it was right around that same time that their quality started going up, and I was like, man, that's a good hire.
I would love to take credit from that, but I actually kind of know the guys who are doing it. I'm like, that's fine. Actually, it was really funny. There apparently, I was working, there for a couple months, and one of the team members comes over and he goes, "Hey, are you the pilot?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. What? It's been like 5 months." Yeah. He goes, "I don't know. Okay. So I know the guy who's making the commercials, and like every day he gets a message, or someone says, 'This is great work by the pilot.'"
They would just tell him. They just say it.
Yeah.
Oh, must be the pilot.
They thought he was me. I was like, oh no. And he's laughing, but he goes, it's fine. He's not really bothered by it. I'm like, I feel bad. I reached out to him. I'm like, I'm so sorry, man. I'm gonna put out a little statement and say I had nothing to do with this. He's like, don't worry about it. It's fine.
That's pretty funny. I'm curious. The people who do those videos, were they high? Actually, I guess the first thing I want to know is, are the videos shot with the same controls that we use? Or are they done in a certain way that is internal? Can you answer that?
Hold on. There's a way around this. There is a sometimes job posting for gameplay capture artist, if that answers your question.
Okay. So, and that means that they are specifically hired for doing that right? It's not like those are people who were doing something else and they were brought onto the team to help with that stuff. Like these are people who specialize in capturing in-game visuals like that.
I don't actually know. That's I mean, I know that there's mobility. If you want to go over to a different department, you can probably do that eventually when there's an opening. But I don't know if gameplay capture artist is actually a career path.
Sounds like fun.
I know, right? I'm gonna should look at that now.
Well, if you guys are watching for any reason, thank you. The videos, they look fantastic. And thanks for not beating this guy up for taking all the credit all that time. That's pretty funny, though. These are great videos by the pilot. No, please, so guys, don't. Oh, man. Okay. All right. We will continue to talk about your time at CIG because I think that's going to keep coming up. But people, I probably want to hear more about your views of Star Citizen, specifically the release date, but also, you know, other normal things that you can actually talk about. The first thing I want to know is, I guess, kind of a big one. You were already a fan of the game by the time you were looking to work there. Like, obviously, I guess you wouldn't do that if you weren't. How has your idea of the game possibly changed now that you've been able to see more of what goes into making it?
I kind of touched on this a little bit when I made the outside Star Citizen video. Is that I was humbled. I mean, legitimately, you think you know how certain things work, and you're like, oh well, you know, there's a department to take care of that, and a department to take care of that, department to take care of that. What's the freaking holdup? Let's knock this out. And of course, you do the same. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's, you know, you even instinctively know, you know, like it's not easy, but it's just a matter of organization. You know, if everyone's doing their job, this shouldn't be an issue. But no, it's so much more complicated than you might think it is. I don't have a way of explaining it that doesn't violate NDA.
Is that
no? But what? Go ahead.
I guess this might be a hard question to answer, but do you think that is specific to? I don't want to say like one of a kind experience to CIG, but do you think that there are probably game studios where you wouldn't have that experience if you went to see them?
Okay, so it's complicated. You are going to have some of the same problems in other game studios. I'm not saying that in the overall arching statement that game development is hard. I'm not saying that's exclusive to CIG, and that would be ridiculous. And
sure,
nobody's. Yeah, I will say that there are issues that are exclusive to this particular development that no other game company will ever go through. And you know, you have to bring in specialists who, you know, throughout the industry who, you know, I thought I could do that. You know, I'm pretty sure we could do that, you know, at the last place, but, you know, they didn't want to do it. That's not the way we do development. He's like, oh, well, you can come here and do it. And they do. And it's kind of amazing. So, there's a, if you can go wander through, like, you know, who works at CIG and just kind of pick someone at random and go look back at their credentials and what they're working on. And I think you'd be surprised at how many all-stars are really hitting it hard. And it kind of gets to you because, you know, you walk in every day, you work really hard, you're working with teams that are working really hard. You know, you get the last minute order to go and test something because they really punched it out of the park, you know, and you have to come back and tell them, hey, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, and this conflicts with this other thing. And, you know, yeah, you fixed this one bug, but like 15 others turned on because of it, this and that. It kind of gets to you, and someone online turns around and goes, how fucking hard is it to fix this? You guys are morons. You're like, You're like, after like 72 hours, you're like, you should give me your address. We should have a chat.
That's the most, all the time, like the number one kind of comment you'll see, I think, about Star Citizen is quote the time it's taken, quote the money it's taken, but there's still, and then enter some glitch, as if like the time and money means that those glitches would be gone. But it sounds like, as they've said many times, and I'm sure you can confirm, it's not about the time taken, it's about whether or not they actually need that glitch to be fixed at that time.
And that's complicated in its own right, because if you fix this glitch, fix that bug, it's taking away time, from actual development of X, and X was going to replace that system anyway. And, why bother fixing that bug if it's just going to get replaced? Well, okay, how many older items can you have then? Okay, well, then you have to come up with a balance of, what are we going to work on versus, what are we going to fix? And it's tricky. And I mean, someone could sit there and explain to you, like, in great intricate detail, like, why you're going one way or the other. But at the end of the day, you're going to you're going to open up to PTU, and people are going to go, well, this is broken, sucks, bye. Okay. You're not going to make everyone happy.
Sure.
But
I'm guessing the gameplay that you got would have scared away any of us because of the bugs and glitches you get. Can you like put us through the normal day of testing?
Oh, okay. I like to roll in around 7 a.m. I made the coffee. I grabbed a cup of it myself. Went over to my desk, loaded up. Hold on. Finished up anything that I might have been working on the previous day, as far as reports wise or anything like that. If there was a new feature to be played with or looked at, I'd probably get a jump on that. I don't actually know if I can tell you. I mean, it's on one hand, it's standard QA stuff, right?
Yeah.
But on the
don't really know what that means entirely. I mean, I've seen what the issue council is. Would you say that your process is much more in depth than the issue council?
Yeah. Basically. The way we generate certain reports, it's a more complex and detailed version of like something like an IC.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot more evidence, a lot more code and everything like that.
Well,
the way you're looking at it and how you submit it and where it goes and how you follow up on it, et cetera, et cetera. So.
Well, I was never very good at the issue council, so it sounds like I might not have been the best QA tester. But I will say this: when I started doing this YouTube stuff, there's a long story behind how it all ended up happening. But at the same time, this was kind of starting to pick up as a possibility. I was also kind of taking some intro to computer science classes and learning coding, and had the idea of possibly becoming a QA person at a company so that I could eventually move on to make video games in some way. I realized that I was a little bit better at making videos than coding, but I also realized that I'm not great at testing video games. I just like playing them mostly.
Yeah, no. So there's two sides to this coin here. One, literally anybody can be trained to do QA. It's if you have a meticulous personality in some aspects, you'll be perfectly fine. You can be trained to do it. It's better if you actually enjoy it, or if you enjoy video games in general. But anybody can go and be QA. And so I like to tell people, I'm like, if you want to help, even if you don't have a skill set that you think would be, used by CIG to its fullest, still apply. Go be cannon fodder, basically. Go be in QA. Go and sit there and see how the freaking sausage is made. One, you'll get an appreciation for how the game is being developed. Two, you're going to learn how to do it better. Three, that is the best company I have ever worked for. I'm not even joking. They will support you. They will help you. They will move you wherever you want to go, train you to do whatever you want to do for the company, obviously. You know, they're going to help you. And yeah, they're supportive and kind and under a whole bunch of stress and pressure and
Yeah.
still, I'm going to say it, they're better people than me. So,
The stress and
that's
pressure
not a high
is
bar.
Oh man, come on. You're great. You could.
I know.
You got great
Thank you,
videos. That's really the only metric
Yes.
I have so far.
Judge
besides
me-
this
judge me on my
fantastic
work.
conversation.
Judge me on my work, not my personality, please.
The stress and tension is an interesting one. I've always wondered. Obviously, there's a spectrum of how plugged in people are to, say, social media and the community at large. Is there ever, can you ever feel a sense of stress or tension there based on just, obviously from the outside, there's a whirlpool?
We see everything. Every single shit post, every appreciation post, every complaint, every compliment, everything, all of it. Someone is always watching. I promise you that. Wherever you put it, the subreddit, Spectrum, anywhere, someone's looking at it. Someone at the company is reading it. And if it's funny enough, it's a lot of people are reading it.
Are they following my MySpace posts about it? So I've got a great little microblog about Star Citizen on MySpace.
I can't speak for the company. I don't work there.
I don't have a MySpace. Do
I know.
Do people use MySpace for things
I think
like
it
that?
still exists, actually.
I mean, I know it was supposed to be a music kind of focused thing after some time, but like, do you take all that to Tumblr? I don't know. I don't know what the.
Oh my
Where do you
God, it
go with
is.
that
It's like a music site.
Yeah. Yeah. See, they still got stuff going on. Obviously, Star Citizen probably wouldn't really fit in on a music site. It's also got great music, though.
Oh, Pedro Camacho stuff? Oh my God, I'll listen to that
Yeah.
anywhere. I don't care
Fantastic.
where I have to
Yeah. Can you tell me how great the Pyro music is?
go. No.
I want to hear music from Pyro so bad. Just the little bits of visual setting they've been building with it. You know that the music is gonna hit. It's gonna be great.
Can't help you, bud. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I figure. From what you've seen, now this is kind of, I guess, a big one. This is a heavy-handed question. From what you've seen during your time there, or before that, just whatever you can pull memories from, do you feel that Star Citizen is on the right track to complete what it set out to be?
What do you mean by that?
Well, to put it into Chris's words, he wants it to be the best damn space sim ever. And I feel for that, it needs to be able to obviously handle a large population, but also simulate a space that feels reactive, connected, feels like you're actually living in the space. And I think what a lot of people are looking for from Star Citizen overall is that ability to go out and do something without feeling forced to do it. Right? You got mining you can do.
I mean, you can do that now.
Sure. But
I dare say it's the best space simulation now.
So then they are on track.
I didn't say that. What I wanted clarification on what does it mean when we say is Star Citizen on the right track to everything that it's promised? Okay. I don't know. I can't really answer that. Is it on track to be the best space game of 2023? I mean, probably, but the competition is not going to be not that big. I mean, I'm really looking forward to Starfield. By the way, I'm just going to dispel something real quick here for you. You guys know that like they all want to play Starfield too, right? We're
Oh man,
we're playing video games all day.
It's so funny when I see comments. People are like, "Oh, Star Citizen devs are probably shaking in their boots." I'm like, "Bro, they're with excitement, probably."
Like, dude, it's a new game. Yeah, come on. Oh my god, we're all sitting there playing video games all day. And by the way, when we leave, when we go home, you know what we do? We play more games.
Hey, big surprise.
I'm shocker, right? I mean, again, I'm not like ratting out the internal politics of the company. Come on, dude, we all play video games. Of course, they're gonna play Starfield.
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't know how I feel about not being able to land on the planet directly. I am kind of spoiled at this point.
right.
Like I'm a little worried. Even No Man's Sky does that, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like, as much as I love it, that's not why I really care to play that game. So I'm okay with it. It's.
I mean, I could tell you why I'm really anxious to play it.
Sure.
It's a Bethesda game. It's going to be broken as hell. I'm going to mod the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, that's what everybody seems excited for, is the mod support, which
get freaking
is reasonable.
Macho Man Randy Savage spaceship going on. Come on, man.
Let's talk about well, let's see. What's something in the game that you would want to talk about? What really draws you into Star Citizen besides the ships? Like, give me a feature, a game loop, a profession.
It's not in there yet.
What would it be?
Exploration.
Oh, well.
That's I wanted I wanted my mark in the game to be something to do with exploration, whether I did like a voice for a character, or even if they managed to stuff my my happy ass into a mocap suit and I could be an NPC, or even just have something named after me. That'd be great too. I wanted to contribute to exploration. I am not a combat guy. I don't like the fact that there's kind of combat being added to everything. I'm going to add a caveat to this. Just hear me out first. I don't like that there's combat added to everything. I sometimes I just want to run a box. I just want to go pick something up, deliver it where it needs to go, enjoy the beautiful visuals of my spaceship on the way. I like to look out at the skybox and go, it's escapism,
Yeah.
On the flip side, I have talked with enough people who have convinced me and dissuaded me of my notions that I understand why there's combat. Because some people, like me, will do nothing but box missions, and then after 6 months completely burn out and go, this game's fucking boring, and leave.
Yeah.
Not understanding that if they just picked up a gun once, they could open up a whole other plethora of different play styles. It is a way of kind of guiding you and, hey, look, this isn't so bad, and opening up new pathways organically inside the game. But god damn it, sometimes I just want to deliver a box. Sometimes I want to scan down a system and go find a weird little ping and go travel to it and find a derelict that I didn't have to take a mission for, and find something cool inside of it, or find survivors of an attack that I can offer sanctuary on my ship. Maybe they become part of the crew. I want to go find alien ruins and go pick up a box that I could press 3 buttons and it opens up a blueprint that opens up a ship that nobody else can have and you can't actually buy. That's what I want. That is ultimately what I want for Star Citizen.
Do you think we'll get that?
With that,
I lost your voice for a second there.
I have no earthly idea, and I am okay with that.
I feel like when people think of exploration, they miss that side of it, the side you just said, the finding points of interest. People will be like, how can we explore in Star Citizen if there's only 2 systems? Not realizing that you could just hide a derelict ship on any planet anywhere with a story.
Right? Space is freaking big. There's a lot of space for activities. Look at all this room we have for activities.
we still haven't even discovered our whole planet.
For real. There is so much space, and I mean, you could do a little bit of RNG on it. You could do some, planned points of interest. But scanning a system and having like 4 lights come up on the star map, and they're color coded, and one's purple, one's white, one's blue. There might be hostiles here. There might not be. There might be an alien artifact here. There might be something else. You go pick up this. You go pick up that. I would love. Okay, I'm gonna give you a personal gripe, and this one I actually can do.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
I hate the paint buckets.
In the inventory.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, in the inventory. I hate the paint buckets. Why are they paint buckets? It's the future.
Yeah, that's fair.
These ships are clearly basic. When you claim one, it takes 6 minutes for like a Titan to come through, or 4 minutes 40 some odd seconds for a Titan to come through, right?
Mm-hmm.
This ship is clearly being built by a nano assembler in the back factory, and assembled and put into a hangar for you. So clearly these mini construction machines and everything like that are part of everyday life and everything like that. It's very clear to me that the skin of the ship, the outer hull, has a small nanite layer on it, or some kind of, hand-wavium technological thing that can change its appearance based on a small little programming chip that you would slot in somewhere on the ship to identify your colors, basically a paint scheme.
Mm-hmm.
So that you can identify as a squadron or a bad guy if you're feeling audacious as a pirate.
Car manufacturers some real good monetization ideas with that, man. Don't bring my game features into real life now.
20 years from now, you're going to have a car that you're going to pay an extra $20 a month for a paint job that you can specifically customize.
The darker gray,
I'm telling you.
instead of regular gray.
Well, I mean, just a livery is important. There's going to be a whole industry of people who make paints, digital paints for cars, and you could purchase them. I think that would be awesome. I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
anyway.
It would be awesome. You just know that they wouldn't let it be awesome.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, someone will hack it, and you can get the gray market paints. It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's clear that the ships can do this. They can change their paint on the fly. They can change their skin on the fly. So why is the item that determines the skin a paint bucket? Why are we not trading chips with paint jobs on them?
Maybe those are the chips. They're very, very large, round computer chips.
I don't
know, man.
It bothers me. It bothered me so much when it came
Did you do a QA issue council thing for it? Did you tell them they needed to change that? Because somebody's got to make a fuss.
Tomato. Do I seem like the type of person who would be overly vocal while doing my job and letting everyone know how I feel about small little stupid shit that doesn't matter?
Listen, you had to have a part in this game. You had to have something that was there, You said maybe it would be a character or a voice or something. No, it should have been this. You should have changed those paint buckets to computer chips.
That would have been nice. Come on, guys. I know you're listening.
Yeah. Now's your chance.
Make it happen.
That is a good one, though. That's a good one to pick. I mean, a lot of people say things like desync and stuff, but I think the paint buckets are crucial.
I can't.
Just wanting to say things?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, we can just wait until we're off the air, and then you can tell me everything. I'll just write it down here real quick for a little script.
Nah, I couldn't do that.
Of course not. All right.
No, I know I actually can't. But
now people are like, are they actually gonna? This is something I've always wondered, and I've talked to a couple of people from CIG about this. Like, because the company's so big, there's so much going on. It's very easy to not know about something going on with Star Citizen, so they come to outside sources to follow the game. What is that like in the office? Are you guys talking about like feature releases or new things that are being talked about in the community? How much does that conversation actually enter the company itself?
I'm pretty sure I could do this. Depending on what you're doing and where you are, you might be living 3 months down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll have someone turn around and say, it's like, oh, I can't believe this. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? We fixed that months ago. Oh, yeah. No, it's terrible. Don't stress too much. It's fine. It's sometimes I'll be blindsided. Like there was, I don't think I signed into live more than 3 times during my entire year in Austin.
Wow.
Year and a half in Austin. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that because you just had enough for work, or?
Well, I mean, no. I mean, a lot of times I was doing my testing and monitoring. But we'd be PTU or no. I meant personally. I didn't log into live.
Okay.
But my account would. My work account would. But yeah, no. I mean, like I said, we are very aware of what's going on, and depending on what department you're in, you're either today's a big day, and you go, and someone else goes, wait, what? Why? It's this event or the ship sale or this, and you go, is that today?
Like forgot about it.
Is it September? Oh shit! You can lose time.
Yeah.
You can lose time working on this. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So Jared says a lot to us that the game development is iterative, and we see this a lot. Things like the flight model changing, master modes coming for us, not for all of them 3 months in the future. Control surfaces, VTOL, this kind of stuff changes something that already existed. A lot of people, their complaint is that, hey, they're doing this again. Hey, this is you're bringing this up again. This is waste of resources. You guys keep treading water. What is your view on this iterative process? Do you think it's? I mean, I can already tell from your face that you don't think it's a waste, but I guess as a QA person, I feel like you must see this very, very closely firsthand and have a little bit of a different insight on it.
I wish I could give you one, but it's not. It's in pretty much everything. There's an acceptable loss marker, defects in manufacturing or development or whatever. If you okay, my pop filter just decided to leave.
Pop off.
Yeah, I know, that was weird. You order 400 chairs from the factory. 380 of them arrive perfectly fine. The last 20 have, nicks, scratches, one's missing a leg. That's a bit of a loss. So do you find a different manufacturer or do you work with them to try to fix it? Do you ignore it? Is, losing 20 chairs for every 400 acceptable? Personally, no. So you either do one of the other options, try to fix it, find a different manufacturer, whatever. Everything is iterative. Every company is trying to make money. Every company is trying to make their product better. Every company is trying to do this or that. I actually know the guy who's working on master modes, so I agree with him, but I can't tell you any of that. If something doesn't work, you need to fix it so it does. Or if you know something's not going to work later on, you fix it now before it needs it in the future. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'll ask you, as a Star Citizen yourself, would you rather have a fix in now when it doesn't really hurt your ability? Or would you rather have to completely learn something new later on when it would be a kind of a pain in the ass? Right?
Yeah.
It's the biggest problem that I see personally. This is me speaking, as the pilot and as a player and a backer. The biggest problem that is, and it's a double-edged sword with Star Citizen, is that you can't make meaningful progress yet. You can build up your character each patch, but if there's a wipe coming, and there might be a wipe coming because of redacted, it's a problem. You can't feel like you're building yourself in another universe because all that progress is wiped away. Personally, that's very important to me. It's actually very important to everyone. I'm just willing to admit it. Shh. But at the same time, there's also the idea that, how many times have you re-rolled Skyrim?
To be honest, I actually haven't played Skyrim that much.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I'm very space oriented. I was playing Mass Effect when people were mostly playing Skyrim. Mass Effect.
Okay,
Deus Ex.
how many times have you re-rolled Deus Ex or Mass Effect?
Enough.
Exactly. There is a value to it being wiped and trying something new that you normally wouldn't. A lot of people aren't willing to wipe their character and try an entirely different character, an entirely different game loop, an entirely different career, an entirely different imaginary backstory in their head, because they have they've invested hundreds of hours into something or more. Okay, so if you invest hundreds, if not thousands, of hours into how to fly something, would you rather get it wiped and replaced with a deeper mechanic that allows you to do it better, and you have to relearn a little bit? Or would you rather make permanent progression and put thousands of hours in and develop all these other patterns and routines on top of it, only to have it change then?
Well, I mean, people are definitely going to want the sooner fix that sets up the system to be better in the long run. But I think it's more the time anxiety that people get about it is this is another change coming to the system. How do we know this is the last one? It could be that there's another 3 or 4 years and then another change that then might end up being the finalized one. And people, I think, playing the devil's advocate, I think people
you
just
don't know.
wonder.
I'll let you ask the actual question. You don't know there's not going to be another change. There might be. And it's probably a good reason why, even if you don't get to know it. And that is a hard pill to swallow. You have all my sympathy for it.
So that's something that CIG can afford to do. Well, has been able to afford to do, at least up until now. They don't have a publisher pushing them to release a feature in a final game if they don't feel it's ready. And that's why we've seen things like Master Mode's able to flourish and become what it is today. Do you think that that's a detriment to the game compared to other games that, I mean, yeah, might get pushed out the door but end up being completed earlier? Or do you think this is better? It's better to just be able to keep adding until it finally works, even if that means another fix 3 years down the line, another fix after that.
I think it's different and unique. I think there's literally nothing else like that. Nothing like Star Citizen out there for development and the game itself. I can also admit that it's can be incredibly frustrating. And you might feel like it's not really worth your time, and that, you might even go as far as some of these people to think that you've been personally disrespected by some of the development choices that have been made. Okay. You can I suggest taking a break, honestly. Just, take a month off and maybe play something else for a little while. But you're probably going to come back because it's pretty fun and immersive and detailed and good and has features that nothing else does. And then if you find another game out there that, scratches that itch for you, good for you. But it's probably also going to be unique. You know?
Yeah. Good for you, though, if you do. I think people sometimes miss that. They feel like they need to be connected to Star Citizen when, if you're not enjoying it, if it's not the game for you right now, you don't have to. Like you said, you can take a break.
Actually, yeah, I'll just throw this out there. Probably not the best maneuver for me personally, but take a break. If you're not having fun in the game, if truly, if the bugs have gotten you to the point, and I have been there,
We all have.
yeah, no,
Well,
I'm
okay,
talking
yeah,
about
you have a different. You're at a different level. That ceiling's higher.
if you've gotten to the point where, it seems like God himself has come down to make sure that you cannot play or do what you need to do, take a break. If it's not fun anymore, take a break. You don't have to fly off the handle and say, "Oh, it's a scam." It's blah blah blah. It's not a scam. You paid $45 and you've been playing for $45 worth of stuff, and there's more to come. Literally, the ceiling can only go up. Just chill. Just be. You'll get more, and it'll be good. And if you don't like what's more, you've already gotten value. Don't worry about it.
Mm.
You don't need to lose your head. The best this is the key phrase. The best thing that you can do sometimes is to stop playing Star Citizen.
That's true.
You can put that in the tag of the video, the little preview bumper.
Oh my gosh, that's like I might make a video titled that at some point, because that's man. Honestly, yeah. You talked earlier about caring about characters and not wanting to die and all that stuff, and it made me think of something that we've heard a very small amount about that's going to make a big difference in the game. The character skill system was introduced at CitizenCon last year for the first time. It's been a little controversial given how the company has talked about that kind of stuff in the past. What is your view on that?
I'm going to answer this question by answering a different question you asked me earlier. If you would like a unique perspective, I don't know anything about it, and I'm happy about that.
Okay.
I literally don't know. I know nothing about the skill system. I am happy and excited to learn more about it with everyone else. You know what I mean?
I'm watching your face to try and tell if you're telling me the truth.
I swear to God to you, I'm telling you the truth.
All right, okay.
There's a value to not knowing how the sausage is made. Have you ever worked
That's
at
true.
McDonald's?
No. No, that would have.
Do you like McDonald's?
Well, yeah, that's why I didn't work. But I like the fries. Okay, I'm a patat man. I'm a potatoes all the way. I will.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, they're good. They are good. But there was
McDonald's
a time
fries
when I was like
or-
eating chicken nuggets, and I was like, I should probably never work here.
Smart man. Now, I don't want to extend the metaphor to say that, you know, if you like Star Citizen, don't work there. In fact, the exact opposite. But, you know, there is an amount of sausage being made, and you know, you kind of get the show ruined for you a little bit. You know,
Gosh.
I'm eager and anxious to look at things that I have not looked at already.
Yeah, I imagine that's like a. If you can, when you're working at the company, you try to leave at least something to be a surprise. Then, as just a player who's excited for Star Citizen, what do you think of the system?
I don't know anything about it yet. I honestly don't, and I know that's bad of me. I'm a Star Citizen content creator. Like, what do you think of this upcoming feature? I'm like, I don't know.
You haven't seen what they were saying in like the monthly reports and stuff? No,
Haven't looked. Don't want to know.
All right.
Want to be pleasantly surprised
All
or furiously angry.
Okay. Then I got another exciting one for you. What are your expectations for CitizenCon this year?
It's going to be held at the LA Convention Center, so it's going to take up a lot of space.
A lot of space and a lot of time, it seems. 2 days event.
Yeah. Yep.
It seems like we're seeing a lot less information in the lead up to the CitizenCon. Like it might be a pretty important one. Like they might be planning something relatively larger than usual for it.
What do you think that means?
I don't know, man. I'm asking the questions. I don't know. I've a 2-day event. I mean, we've seen the event before. Every year they've had this event. It has had plenty of time to run in a day, and they've filled it with a lot of stuff. So I'm assuming they're bringing back some of the big things that take up some time, like the cosplay event and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's also 2 days is a lot of time. And like you said, LA Convention Center is a lot of space. So it feels like it's a big event, but it's hard to know because it's also the first one back. There are reasons to be excited for it simply because it's happening again finally. And I think it's really cool that they're making it a big deal, but obviously people are wondering if there's more to that.
I can tell you what I'm excited about.
Okay.
I get to meet up with a whole bunch of friends from Austin who I haven't seen in a while.
That's cool.
And yeah, I'm gonna wear my Star Citizen employee hoodie because I still have it. And
Nice.
I'm going to walk around with them. I'm going to catch up and see how everything's going. I'm going to probably run into a lot of people and go, "You're the pilot." I'm going to go, "Yeah." No, actually, I'm not. I'm a stunt double. It's that guy over there. Because that joke never really gets old.
No.
I'm probably going to meet up with you and a couple of other people.
Definitely. That's going to be the best part is seeing all the people.
Yeah. I'm going to run into a lot of friends. And that's going to be a busy weekend for me.
Is it Is it a big event for CIG employees to come from the other studios, or is it usually mainly the employees from the studio it's being hosted near?
Okay.
I guess when you worked, they didn't do the physical one, but
are you excited to go to CitizenCon?
Yeah.
So are they. Yeah. It's really just that simple. Like, you know, if you're in a different studio, you know, if you were in Germany or UK, would you want to go even if it wasn't in Los Angeles? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's just really far. So far.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, I wouldn't want to pay for it myself, but I think that, you know, I don't know officially, so I cannot state on the matter. I left before this particular topic became an issue. I don't think everybody who wants to go gets to go. You know.
Okay.
I do know that that pretty much everyone who works there wants to go. Of course we do.
Yeah. I mean, especially this year because it's a special event this year, right?
Yeah.
Special.
It's the first one back in a while. Hasn't been a CitizenCon in a while.
Yeah, maybe some
an in-person one.
Special news that they're going to reveal that we don't know about yet that you can hint at.
Did you not catch that part where I said that I left before all this became an issue? No? Okay.
No, I'm just gonna keep pushing it.
He could be lying. Keep pushing.
Yeah. Lying. Could. Never know. He's getting memos every once in a while. He's still logged into the Slack group.
He knows,
A lot of people are currently taking breaks from the game for whatever reason. Some people are just out vacationing, having a good time. But a lot of people did decide to take a break this game. As we said, if you get too frustrated, take a break. And they are always wondering when would be a good time to come back. In your own opinion, I mean, we know that like 4.0 is supposed to bring server meshing. And much like, I don't know, did you see 3.0? Were you kind of paying any attention to the game back then?
Yeah.
So it was like 3.0 came out and it was like 9 months of instability where you had to wait for it to finally get in. In your opinion, when would you suggest people consider jumping back into the game?
I'm going to give you and everyone listening a wholly unsatisfactory answer, but it is unfortunately the truth. When you're sitting there and you go, I kind of want to just go buzz Daymar in a 300. Yeah. Maybe I'll go run some bunker missions. When you get that call for adventure and fun, and you just want to exist in Star Citizen for a few moments or a couple hours, that's when you play. That's when you should play. Don't log in to go see the new thing, or don't go log in just because 3 different orgs are going at it, or jump to. Well, obviously, I'm not a SIG employee. I can say that. Don't log in just because there's a freaking event. Log in because you want to, not because you feel obligated. You're not obligated to play. Play because you like it and because you want to participate. Some people like just logging in for Jump Town. And trust me, they will let you know it when they take your head off with a sniper rifle. Play when you want to. Play when you actually will enjoy it. Please. Or if you're a part of the testing PTU groups, play when it's opened up so that it can get tested.
Yeah. I mean, that was like the PTU cycle of 318 was all about trying to get people to jump into the PTU. That was
yeah, please. I mean, that's the restructuring of the waves there. Yeah, I totally freaking get it. You're testing to make sure that the servers can handle everybody. Everyone jumps on and then makes a glib comment. Oh, my personal little problem. The 400 eyes panel, is still blacked out when you apply this specific paint job, and you do X, Y, and Z. Well, I'm done until the next batch. Bye. Why are you testing? What?
They left because of the paint buckets.
Oh, yeah, right. I mean, I know I did that. That's the real reason. That's why I really left CIG. I couldn't stand the paint buckets anymore.
He couldn't stand his notes about the paint buckets every morning. Every morning, a post-it note.
Every day.
Do you have a favorite ship in the game?
Yes. Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't have any guesses.
No, you have to. I do have a favorite ship. That is the answer to your question.
Oh.
If you want to know what it is, you have to. Yeah.
All right. What is the favorite ship?
It's the MSR.
Hey, good choice.
I'm not proud of it. There's everything that everyone complains about it. The doors, the lack of entrances, the the needless elevator, all of it. I don't even like the steering wheel, but I love that ship, and I can't help it. I can't not love it. It's so pretty and it's so much fun, and I wish it had more firepower, and I wish it had one more exit and entrance, and I wish it was more useful than what it is, but it isn't.
Well, as the explorer, I'm guessing. I guess it's not necessarily an exploration ship.
Don't try to trick me. I see what you're doing. See you.
I'm just saying, man. I mean, you said you wish it had more firepower, but I think you want to go find a derelict with that, right?
Oh, I so do. I'm really looking forward to the Spirit, though. How about you?
Oh, I feel like that's probably a pretty common line of connection. People who are excited for the MSR really like it, but maybe are looking for something a little bit more compact, and that Spirit hits that spot. And it's like,
yes, it does.
You see people who are like, oh, why are the wings so big? It's supposed to go up against the Cutlass. The wings are so big. I'm like, yes, I like that. You ever fly on the Normandy?
Yeah, for real, exactly. That's the real trick, though. And this is actually, thank God, I have precedent. I already released the video before I worked for the company, so I can say this. The Cutlass is the most useful ship in the game, far and away. If you want to do something, you could do a little bit of everything with the Cutlass, and it needs a direct competitor. It needs the Spirit.
You think the Spirit will be as useful?
I really hope so. I don't actually know.
I hope so. I guess it'll never be as common, Cutlass Black. I mean, at least as far as lore goes, I feel like the Cutlass Black would make more sense to be more common. But do you think the Spirit would be a closer competitor to it than the Freelancer?
Yes. The Spirit is supposed to be a competitor for the Black. This I know.
I'm very excited for it. I don't know, it doesn't sound like you read the monthly reports too much, but we kind of know that the A1 Spirit is coming in the 3.20 branch of patches.
Yeah.
I'm really hurts my heart that the C1 isn't there too. I'm like, how?
Guess
how
which
did the
one I
bomb
own?
bays? You a C1 man?
Yeah.
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 I'm like, how did the cargo bay take longer than the bomb bay? But I'm sure there's a lot going on there that makes that happen.
I promise you. Okay, so look, here's the thing. This goes back to the thing we talked about before. There's always a reason for whatever. But you have to ask yourself, and this is a really hard one, especially for someone like me. I need answers. I need to figure out how things work so I can, make them better or replicate it or whatever I need to do. There's always a reason. Is it finding out what that reason is not always the best way to go. You might agree with it, you might not. You might fully understand the situation and go, "Oh, wow, actually that makes a lot of sense." And then you can understand why you can't tell everyone, and which puts a different kind of burden on your brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love reasons though.
I love reasons too, dude. I'm right there with you. I need to understand how the world works too, and I understand the pain of why did CIG do this? This makes no sense. And then when it does make sense, it doesn't make it feel any better in your head. I promise you. Just roll. Just roll with it. Be happy. Find
I'm
your
not
bliss.
happy. I want my C1.
Play something else, man. Go fly the Normandy for a while,
Okay. How about concept ships? Do you have a favorite ship that's not in the game yet? Maybe one that you're just excited to try out or see?
Oh wow. What we're gonna okay, I'm gonna cheat slightly because you might have gotten me. What concepts do you know that are out there?
Like all of them?
Just name a couple, like the most recent.
The most recent.
Yeah, or yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
the Vulcan, oh God, what is that one called? The Gatak Rylan,
Oh,
the
I do love the rail. Oh
Crucible,
man.
Endeavor, Orion, the Apollo. What else is there? Um,
Oh, thank God. Okay, I sorry, I had to look it up to make sure that everyone knew about it. I have one. And I'm really looking forward to flying it. The Galaxy.
oh right, yeah, okay, they did unveil that last year. Yeah, that is as much as I wasn't interested in that one when it was announced because I just knew it was going to be a long time before we saw it. The ship itself, yeah, it's really cool.
It's an anaconda.
Yeah, I guess that is it's probably kind of closer in size too than some of the other ships that get compared to Elite
I'm
Dangerous.
so excited. I get to have my anaconda and walk around it. Not that it's a totally different ship. It's the Galaxy. It's
Just calling it the Anaconda, it's the name of it.
that's what I've named my Galaxy. Yeah, exactly. See, you get it.
Yeah, totally. So, what module then are you gonna be flying that thing with regularly?
I have all three. I bought the complete thing. Well, I own the complete package that has all of them.
A man of all trades.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really looking forward to playing with it.
It's a cool one. I think. I don't know. I love the large ships, but I see myself only like generally staying in the smaller ones. I'm almost tempted to say the most common ship I might end up using long term would be the Vulcan, because the concept of it is just so cool. It's so much fun.
I know someone you'd get along with quite well. Um, I get you. No, I feel that's intentional. I mean, I spend most of my time flying around in a Titan too. Of course. And I even said as much in that video. Whatever you do, you're gonna go out. You're gonna man a crew. You're gonna go play around in a reclaimer and scrap things and make your money. You're gonna go and man a redeemer turret. Though God knows why you're in a redeemer. You could be flying something better. Anyway, you're gonna go off and you're gonna crew up. You're going to go and do all these things. But at the end of the day, you know, single seater star hopper, man. I just want to be in my Titan and fly around and have my own adventures. It's fun to hang out with friends,
Yeah,
but it's kind of fun to do your own thing too.
yeah. Get lost in
Yeah.
space. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really. There are a couple games that will give you a similar kind of experience, but you can't play a game where you can just go out into the middle of space and have your spaceship and jump out of your spaceship and float around it and just like look at it from all angles and sit on it or like shoot it. I don't care. Like you can just do so
whatever you want.
much. Yeah, you have so much freedom. Just don't 30K.
I think that's what frustrates people. I think that's where the anger comes from. It's not the fact that the game's still in development. You should be happy the game is still in development. You should be grateful that the game is still constantly being developed based on feedback and bug reports, and there's so many people with so many great brains working on it. That should be a point of happiness, not contention. I don't get that. Just that's the frustration though.
Well,
Is because you have these great moments where you could do this in this game and literally nowhere else. And you want it to be great and you want it to work perfectly all the time. I get it.
Correct me
It's not there yet.
if I'm wrong, but that point does sound like it's implying that this game could not have happened earlier. The only reason it would still be in development is because people have made it possible that it's still going. Is that where you're coming from?
I mean, I guess in a general sense. I mean, look, what's the common tagline? You're like, oh, it's been in development for 10 years. Not really. I mean, the thing you're talking about that you can play right now today is not 10 years old. It's significantly less. But okay, it's still multi-years in development. Sure. Aren't you happy they're still working on it? If SIG shut down tomorrow, would you be happier? No?
Some people, it seems like they would.
Yeah, I know, for real, right? How are you this angry about a video game? Like, I made my life about this game. I have every right to be upset, but I'm not upset about it for the reasons you are. Yours are dumb.
Isn't it also annoying when you've done that? You've kind of made your life about the game, and people will be unhappy with you if you do express
Nah,
frustration.
nah, that was social media 101 with YouTube. You know this rule. You can't. I'm the pilot, but I'm also a person. But
Yeah.
I'm not really allowed to be a person. If I'm acting as the pilot, I can't get offended over every person who leaves a comment something stupid. My God, have you gotten like the exceptionally weird or horrifying comments on YouTube?
Oh yeah, we laugh about them on Discord here.
Dude, like some of the ones I've gotten over the years, just I've spent days trying to parse together the kind of crazy that you need to be to get to some of this stuff, and I'm like,
Some of
okay.
them go off. Some of them confuse me because I'm feeling real special that you took all that time. But do you do that to every YouTube video? Is this something special between me and you, or are you going around to all the Star Citizen creators and doing this? Because I want to know. Is it me?
I got accused of facilitating the downfall of Western civilization with the propaganda that I put out, and I went,
Man.
it it's the dolphin in Elite Dangerous. What is happening? What?
Such a bummer when you stumble into one of those, huh? Oh, sorry,
Mind
civilization. I shouldn't have put out the video. My bad. Yeah, it can be a lot.
You shrug it off.
Sure.
It is what it is.
Yeah. You mentioned the how people talk about Star Citizen's development cycle. It's taken a long time. Star Citizen is coming together. It's a much bigger game than Squadron 42. I think everybody should understand that. But it also doesn't seem to get as many features or as much of the development time as Squadron 42 does. Does it ever feel like people... You're not going to be able to answer that. Yeah, I don't know how to ask that question without... Does it ever feel like that at the company? Is it compartmentalized to the point where, does it feel like Squadron 42 dominates conversation, dominates... you can't talk about this stuff. I don't even know why I'm asking it.
It's a question to ask, whether I can answer it or not.
Can you talk
putting
about
it out there? I cannot. But putting it out there into the universe is definitely a question worth asking, I would think.
Well, yeah, I think people would be interested in knowing if it feels the same inside the company as it does outside. A lot of people feel like, myself included, that Squadron 42 takes a lot of attention away from Star Citizen, and that's really I think that's in a vacuum, because obviously we don't know how much attention there would be if Squadron 42 didn't exist. But it would be interesting, I think, to know how that translates to the office life. And I know some offices have more focus on some things than others, but I guess it's kind of like the question with the community content and how people are kind of paying attention to that and talking about that. I just wonder how the perspective changes as you go from inside or outside the company.
Woo. Okay. There's like 7 questions in there. I'm going to try my best.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
All right. I no longer work for SIG. I cannot speak for the company. I cannot speak for perspectives of people inside the company when I no longer am there, nor could I speak for their perspective when I was working there.
Fair.
I cannot reveal certain information about the internal development or processes that CIG uses to develop Squadron 42 or Star Citizen. Nor can I think there's like another caveat in there. I it's very specific, and I was like, wait, does that mean like I can't talk about like a poster on the wall technically?
The name of an office room?
Yeah, exactly. Is this technically mean I can't? I thought it was very interesting. I never actually got an answer, so I'm going to play that safe.
Probably a good call.
You know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you the name of the meeting room.
Oh,
it was Kraken.
Oh,
yeah.
I've seen a couple. I remember around the verse they used to shoot next to like the windows.
Yeah,
and
it's in a video. It's in a video. I'm not giving away anything there.
That's the leak, guys. Kraken coming next year. You heard it here first.
No.
Man.
No, so I can't tell you anything about the development of processes. I can't really even tell you anybody else's feelings except my own. I have limited experience with Squadron and therefore limited sentiment with Squadron 42.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Limited experience is more than I could say. So, props.
Thank you.
All right. To wrap things up, then, you have any final questions for me, from your perspective? Any final thoughts about the game, Star Citizen, things you're looking forward to, maybe?
Oh, I'll think of something really good in like an hour.
How it always goes, right?
Yeah, right. What are you looking forward to, man? What are you playing
The economy.
Star Citizen for?
I'm looking forward to the economy expanding. Yes, I got that ready. That and the star map. Those two things are. Oh,
Wait.
man, I'm gonna hold both their hands and skip into the sunset whenever.
What's the latest thing you saw on the star map?
You know, when they showed all details about it, you don't have to worry about saying any. No,
terrible.
We've
terrible. You could have done that. You could have played the gambit a little bit better. I'm just saying.
We haven't seen anything. That's what's driving me nuts. We really just kind of get updates by text, sort of like these are the features being worked on: gas clouds, space dust, waypoints, AR markers, that kind of stuff. But haven't gotten to see it in works yet. But yeah, I'm very excited for it.
I'm not giving away anything. You know, I mean, the star map's, you know, going to be remade. That's very public knowledge. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that is that, cool. And then the really the whole quantum simulation kind of starting to make a difference in the game. Virtual AI being a thing, being able to find an NPC that actually matters in the world, maybe has a little bit of character or reputation behind them. That kind of stuff goes a long way to make the game feel more alive. That
would be absolutely lovely. I would love to play that. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I love games with an economy. I get to do a joke that I repeated very much in the office. I love a game called Star Sector. You guys should play Star Sector. Star Sector is great. You should play it. It actually is quite great. There's a whole economy in there that you can manipulate it in any way you want. It's complicated and complex, and it doesn't look like it should be, and it is. I mean, if we could just replicate that, I'd be perfectly happy. If we're gonna get what I think we're gonna get, which I haven't seen anything about, but would be very happy if we did, I think that could be even better. But what do you
what do you think of the whole 9-to-1 AI to human ratio with the economy? Like the fact that players maybe won't control it entirely.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you really want players controlling an economy?
Oh God, no.
Like all of it? Yeah.
No, I'm with you there.
God, no. Listen, What is it? Hell is other people. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like I really do like the idea of if you move into a system with your friends and there's enough people and there's enough mass of whatever's going on, you can make a real difference to the system. But at the same time, that can end up being such a struggle on the small scale. You can imagine if people just decided to crash the economy around the starting planet in the game.
Oh no! What would that look like if there was a system basically blockaded and you had to negotiate with those people and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
What if they were like bandits with distinctive kind of armor?
Like Ninetales?
Nah. Anyway.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much, Violet, for joining me for this one. That's about it for us today. But I appreciate you coming through, giving us a little bit more insight into your time with CIG and also just like you as a person, your own content and your views of the game. I appreciated this conversation. This was a lot of fun. I think this is probably the most I've laughed on an episode.
Thank you for having me, man. It was fun.
Of course. Could you, before we head out, let the people know where they might be able to find your own stuff?
You can find me over on YouTube. Just kind of search for The Pilot. Unfortunately, the is part of the algorithm now. I can't just be Pilot. So, hey, look, see, you're being called to prayer.
Yeah, there.
Come pray. Come sub to me. You'll have
that's the message. So you're just on YouTube?
Just on YouTube. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again so much for coming, and thank you everybody for watching or listening, whichever one you decide to do. We're on audio platforms. There are no ads. It's all audio. It's really nice. I use audio platforms for my podcast. Super fun. But if you're on YouTube, thanks for that as well. And for supporters who are here watching us live, thank you for being here. We'll have a quick Q&A after this show live here. You get to ask some questions to the pilot, and we'll then let him off the hook. But thanks again, everybody, for coming to the launch sequence pilot. One last time, thank you.
Thank you. 07.
07s, and I'll see you all next week.